9440. 4405. 9440 405.
Welcome back for another week of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to make Calhoun County a better and safer place for each and every one of us by helping us lock up some of the bad guys. I'm your host, Chris Wright, along with John Garlick from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. John, it's good to see you again.
It's good to be here. You know, usually I'm on the other side of the camera, but the camera I used to work is gone, so I guess I'm here now.
Did you break it?
Apparently I did, you know. It doesn't go as low as I needed it to go.
We don't let John play with any more of the expensive toys.
No,
okay.
It's terrible.
Let's not talk, none of the camera talk here. Let's talk about what our viewers have done.
Our viewers have
how
done
many cameras they see things on.
A great job. Here in the summer months when it's hot and all that, we have two people have gone to jail where they can get air conditioning and feel cool. I'm surprised it's not more than that. But our folks in Calhoun County have given us information. We have two more people arrested, bringing the count to 3,443 people put behind bars because people of Calhoun County care enough to call.
All right. Let's talk for just a second. You talk about it being hot and that kind of thing. A lot of us end up rolling down our windows in our cars. And sometimes we do that or just leave them unlocked in front of our homes.
Right.
We like to think that our home is a good, safe place, and usually inside your home it is, but there are people walking around looking for stuff, and a lot of people are being victimized.
That's correct. If you leave your car unlocked, leave your windows down, and leave valuables in it, or anything, it may not even have to be valuable. You don't know what's valuable to somebody until it's gone. But there are people that are just wandering through the neighborhoods, and all they're doing is playing with the door handle to see if the car is open, and if they open it up, they'll go through your glove box, under your seats, and they'll take whatever they think they want.
Yeah, and you know, we probably think, well, that's happening in other places, but my neighborhood, I live in a good neighborhood. It's a good, safe neighborhood, and I haven't heard of anybody having that problem. Well, chances are you hear about somebody in the neighborhood having that problem, it may be 10, 12, 20 people in the neighborhood that had the same problem the same night. Right.
It'll be a rash. They'll hit that neighborhood and just go from house to house playing with the doors. And yeah, you're right. We'll have 20 reports that we'll have to take.
And they love those neighborhoods where people think, hey, it's a great, safe neighborhood.
And you leave stuff in your car, and you know, you do it by accident. You get out of the car, you leave your cell phone in your seat, you leave your iPad, you leave your purse, and you just get out and go in the house, and maybe you brought the groceries in, and you sit down, now you're cooking dinner, next thing you know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, oh darn, I left my purse in the car, it'll be all right.
And you know, especially this time of the year, even if you genuinely don't have a single thing in that vehicle that is worth stealing, it's still a great idea to lock that vehicle because of children. Children love to play around cars. It's just a fact, they do. They will get in that car, they will lock themselves in the car, not know how to get out, and all of a sudden you've got a very dangerous situation, especially this time of the year with the heat. If you don't care what's in your car, you should still care about what might get in your car, even if you don't have kids, especially if you have kids, because it's more likely that they're going to mess with their own family car. Right. But they might go over to the neighbor's house or whatever. Just please lock your cars for the safety of our children.
Yep, children and pets, make sure when you leave your car that there's nothing in your car, nobody in your car, no pets in your car, then lock it and keep it safe. Good point.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the first half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston with Family Links, and this is the Family Tip of the Week. For the millions of parents who will send a son or daughter off to college in the fall, this is the summer of list, making travel arrangements, picking meal plans, and ordering linens and other items for the dorm. But helping kids with the realities of being on their own for the first time are sometimes things parents neglect in their preparation. Here are a list of practical things to go over with your teen. First, teach them to do laundry and then insist that they do their own clothing, sheets, and towels for the entire summer. By the time they get to college with a roll of quarters in hand, they'll have the hang of it. Second, teach them the basics of banking, how to use an ATM card, how to write a check or make a payment online, how to deposit money, or how to balance their account. Third, teach them how to navigate public transportation. Most kids go off to college without access to a car, and obviously they won't have you to take them places. If they don't already know, teach them how to use the bus, how to get around on subways, trains, and then take away the car keys for a while so they can gain confidence. Last, teach them how to cook a few things. While most freshmen are on some kind of meal plan, knowing how to cook at college can come in handy. Many dorms have communal kitchens, and it can be fun to occasionally make a meal and eat with friends. And just in case your kid ends up living off campus at some point, knowing his or her way around the kitchen will be useful. Plus, making a point of cooking and eating together a few times a week over the summer is a nice way of spending time together as a family. Remember, while your desire to help your teen is sincere, there will be times when you must combat your natural parental instinct to do things for your child, because there are things that your child needs to learn how to do solo. For more family tips, please contact Family Links at 256-820-5911.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up on our lineup this week, Ashley Walker. Miss Walker, last known to be living in Gadsden, she's wanted for probation violation on distribution of a controlled substance. And meet James Johnson. Mr. Johnson, last known to be living in Alexandria, he's wanted for failure to appear on breaking and entering in a vehicle and writing multiple worthless checks. Take a look at Elizabeth Soul. Miss Soul, last known to be living in Anniston, she's wanted for failure to appear on possession and receipt of a controlled substance. And this is Roosevelt Dotson. Mr. Dotson, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for probation revocation on possession of a forged instrument, 3rd ×2. And meet Christopher Hunter. Mr. Hunter, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for aggravated child abuse. Let's bring this guy to justice. And this is Jimmy Rich. Mr. Rich, last known to be living in Cartersville, Georgia, he's wanted on probation revocation for receiving stolen property, 2nd. And last up for the first half of our lineup, Katina Jones. Miss Jones lives in Birmingham. She's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property, 2nd. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
All right, welcome back to Calhoun County's Most Wanted. We'll get back to the crime fighting here shortly, but right now we want to welcome our guest into the show. And this week, Gloria is joining us from the Jacksonville chapter of NAMI, which is the National Alliance for Mental Illness.
Yes.
All right,
yes,
I got that right.
Yes,
I'm so bad with acronyms.
You did. It's all right.
All right, well, thank you for being on here today. And of course, John, you work with the mentally ill on a regular basis, probably a little bit more than you'd like to, but we definitely are glad to have you as our resource officer to help with those situations here in Calhoun County. People forget how lucky we are to have someone with your abilities here working with us.
Well, thank you. We at the Sheriff's Office are working really hard to help train law enforcement and then help respond to the mentally ill in crisis and get them the help they need before something tragic happens.
And of course, law enforcement, that's not where we want everything to start.
No.
We are really glad to have local groups of citizens that are doing things to help the mentally ill community. And so Gloria, tell us a little bit about the Jacksonville chapter of NAMI and what you guys are all about and who really needs to know that you're there.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you thank you very much for having me on your show. I really appreciate your invite and this opportunity to take a time to let everyone know what NAMI is about. It has been in progress for a while, but the importance of it, I don't think is really magnified out there in the public. They don't really know. People know about mental illness, but to get involved is a different level. NAMI is a nonprofit education and awareness program. Anybody can be a NAMI member. You don't have to be a consumer. You can be a family member that has someone in your family that has mental illness challenges. You can learn, become aware, become an advocate. We work on all different levels of the government, even from the national all the way down to the community base. We have programs that are geared to help members of NAMI as also the families. We have a connections group, we have in our own voice groups, we have family to family groups, programs, and they're all trainings that NAMI provides to the public free of charge.
And we always talk about mental illness as being something that we just don't talk about. People aren't going to discuss this like they would a traditional illness. Something physical that we can see as a physical illness. I like to think that we're starting to do a better job of this. People are starting to understand more clearly that yes, this is an illness and not just a person that's acting strangely. Are we really doing better, or is that just my perception?
Well, statistically still shows that minorities are not really represented in the mental health field that they should be. There are a lot of services out there that they're just not getting. But more even so, the stereotypes. People just don't want to be associated with mental illness, and they kind of hide from it and don't acknowledge it. Don't say, listen, I'm having trouble. So it's a village concept. It takes everybody to help, because you may have difficulty, but if you're fearful of going forward, someone that cares for you or knows you or is related to you might be able to give you the go and the edge and confirmation that we can do this, and go out there and acknowledge and seek the services that are needed for you.
And NAMI helps with the families, and statistically throughout the nation, 67%, 2/3 of the people with mental illness don't seek treatment because they don't have family support. So NAMI is there to help teach the parents or the family members how they can support, and to kind of take that stigma out and take some of the pressure off a caregiver, so that we can get people into treatment. And then, throughout the nation, even our treatment is not as good as it should be, particularly for lower income consumers.
I keep hearing you say teach and learn. And the things that we don't understand, we're afraid of. The things that we're afraid of, we discriminate against. It all goes back to, okay, we need to understand a little bit better. So even if you've not been affected by mental illness directly, we all need to do a better job of understanding what people around us are dealing with, so that we don't fear it and we don't discriminate against it.
Correct. And with mental illness, it doesn't discriminate. It crosses every social class, crosses every culture, every line. It doesn't discriminate. So you could be a professional suffering with mental illness, or you could be, a single mom or a child suffering with some type of illness. So, we have to be aware, and we have to be mindful and watchful. Aniston started a wonderful segment just recently on the suicide rates in Alabama, how they have increased. Depression is real. It's not a joke. It's not nothing to put under the rug. It's not nothing to simply ignore. It's real. And we need to address that. People need to know.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we've got an event coming up here locally soon that hopefully will help people understand a little bit better, and we will talk about that when we come back here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead,
drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch
like me.
I once was
homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost.
But now I am
sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
And welcome back to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Flores Howell. Miss Howell, last known to be living in Talladega, she's wanted for theft of property first. And meet Paris Dennis. Mr. Dennis, last known to be living in Oxford, he's wanted for probation revocation on reckless endangerment. And this is Heather McGrath. Miss McGrath, last known to be living in Heflin, she's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property third and attempted illegal possession of a credit card. Take a look at Ricky Townsend. Mr. Townsend, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to pay on writing multiple worthless checks. We'd like you to meet Adrienne Long. Miss Long, last known to be living in Anniston, she's wanted for theft of property third. Take a look at Joseph Davis. Mr. Davis, last known to be living in Jacksonville, he's wanted for failure to appear on domestic violence third and driving while under the influence. And last up on our lineup this week, Janice Schluter. Miss Schluter, last known to be living in Gadsden, she's wanted for failure to appear on chemical endangerment of a child ×2. And that's it for our lineup this week. If you have any information on the whereabouts of these folks, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414.
All right, welcome back again to Calhoun County's Most Wanted, and Gloria with the National Alliance for the Mentally Ill. The Jacksonville chapter is with us again, not just for Jacksonville, that's where you're located, but you're serving all of Calhoun County.
Yes, we do.
And we've got an event coming up that's actually going to be in the southern part of Calhoun County in Oxford, right?
Yes, we are going to have a satellite NAMI walk, which is a walk for mental illness, and anybody can participate. It's in support of a local area, but it's part of a national organization. And what you do is you come out, you bring your family and your friends, and we walk for mental illness, and we're going to have it at Oxford Lake. And it's going to be in September, and we're going to have hot dogs, hamburgers, food, fellowship, fun, but basically the concept is to walk for mental illness, for awareness and for education.
And this would be a great opportunity for somebody that would like to know a little bit more about the organization and services that are available for the mentally ill and their families here in Calhoun County. They'll be able to come in a nice, non-threatening environment, and plenty of people that will be glad to talk to them about things that they may not be aware of that can make a huge... John, there are so many services offered that there are services that we should offer that we don't, but there are so many services that are offered that just aren't taken advantage of because people don't know.
That's right, and I handled probably several hundred phone calls a month doing some kind of referral and recommendations for folks. There's lots of services out there. But you're right, they just don't know where to go. NAMI's a great organization to hook up with. They can connect you with all kinds of services all around the country. They're a national organization that we have access to right here locally.
All right, just Gloria, if you will, this is a big question. We don't have a ton of time to answer everything about this, but just for somebody that really doesn't know much about mental illnesses, we're out there in the world and we know that we're probably surrounded by some people who are suffering from some mental illnesses and just coping, coming into work every day and things. What are some things that we can look for to say, okay, this might be somebody that I don't want to leave them out of anything, but at the same time I want to create an environment when I'm around them that helps them to prosper?
Well, that is a very big question because you have to, each individually is different. A lot of people mask it. A lot of people are trained to try to cover it so that it's not seen. But basically, if you see someone that is having challenges or trouble, or you see something that's just not right, just go to them, talk to them, basically, befriend them, let them know that you care, let them know that you're concerned. A lot of times, we tell people to leave pamphlets around. We have lots of information that can be shared with people. Sometimes just pamphlets being out, they may look, they may read, they may be interested. But just basically having a hands of extension, arms out, and say, I'm here, you know, if you need me, and offer whatever help, consultation you can to them.
And even if you're not discussing anything connected to mental illness, it can still be helpful, because a lot of these people, don't they kind of shy away from situations, and just talking to them about their kids or whatever might be going on at work and including them, building that bridge of trust, can help them deal with whatever they're dealing with, even if you never discuss a mental illness.
You're right, befriending them. Friendship is a very good point for people that suffer with mental illness. Developing relationships, positive relationships, relationships that show that people care and are concerned and inquire about their well-being. A lot of times they're ostracized with the community. They're often, you know, mocked or teased or whatever. So, you know, just an invitation of friendliness, positiveness, social interaction can mean a lot to a person that is suffering with
as long as you
illness.
don't push too hard, right? Because you got to do it on their terms.
Exactly.
They don't necessarily interact the same way that everybody else does. You have to be respectful of how they want to have that relationship develop.
True, but in some cases they do react just the same. You know, a couple of situations develop. You may have people over to your house, you've got friends, and you bring them over for, you know, cocktails on the weekend or just to sit and watch the ball game, and you learn that somebody's wife just had a breakdown. Oh, she had a breakdown. Well, gosh, maybe we shouldn't invite her because there's so many people here and it'll be noisy. Wrong. You invite her, that's her job to decide.
Right.
And we'll see people and we'll go, oh, wow, that person's, there's something wrong with them. And we won't reach out, we won't talk to them. I've known, you know, schizophrenia is probably one of the worst diagnoses you could have, but I know several schizophrenics who, with family support, go to their psychiatrist, go to their counseling, keep an eye on their medications. You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it to talk to them. And all they want is they've got an illness, just like somebody with diabetes. You don't exclude diabetics from Thanksgiving just because they can't eat the pecan pie, you know? So we've got to be more accepting and open. If we did that, if we were open, we would save a lot of lives.
Absolutely, and you might save some money on that pecan pie if you invite more diabetics.
True.
All right. Gloria, if somebody wants to get in touch, how do they do it?
They can contact me. We also have a website, but mine can be reached at 256-454-0925. We have a meeting every second Tuesday of every month, and we're located at K.L. Brown in their gift shop behind them in Jacksonville. But it's easy access. We have flyers out. We also have pamphlets. If they, we have a website. It's NAMIJacksonville.org. They can simply look us up online, send information. We would gladly respond to any questions they have or send resources or speaker to them if they'd like.
Very good. Thank you for being here with us, and
Thank
good
you
luck
for
with the walk
inviting me.
in September.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back. We'll have our crazy criminal of the week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict,
Alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch like me.
I once was.
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask you to put your deer stalkers on and help our investigators with these cases. First up on your caseload this week, between July 7th, July 8th, a hydraulic line, toolbox, and steel chainsaw were all stolen from a bed of this red Toyota truck. The truck parked at a residence on Old Downing Mill Road in Anniston. Sometime between July 8th and July 9th, a gray Toyota truck was stolen from a residence on Highway 431 in Ohatchee. Sometime on July 9th, this residence on Rocky Hollow Road in Jacksonville was broken into. They got away with some electronics, tools, jewelries, and of course, firearms were stolen. And between July 9th and July 10th, a white GMC Sierra was broken into. The vehicle parked at a residence on Doster Lane in Oxford. Assorted power tools were stolen from that vehicle. And last up on your caseload this week, on July 10th, the gray Ford Escape was broken into. The vehicle parked at a residence on Airport Road in Ohatchee, in Oxford. A leaf blower, hedge trimmer, and wallet were stolen from that vehicle. If you have any information on these cases, please give Crime Stoppers a call and let us know what you got. That number, 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
All right, John, we got our crazy criminal now. Sometimes, though, it's the law that's crazy and not the criminal.
Uh-oh.
Occasionally, okay.
Coming off of the NAMI conversation, it's appropriate.
All right. Our crazy criminal this week is an individual across the pond in England who was arrested for stealing electricity. He plugged his cell phone up on the train.
Oh dear, how revolting. Why? And
I got that volt.
You got that?
It went right here, not quite over. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, he plugged his phone up. Apparently they've got a plug that's supposed to be used by the people vacuuming in the train, cleaning up. He plugged his cell phone in there, and when he arrived at his stop, there was a group of 4 police officers waiting to arrest him.
Take that man down. Was there a sign on the plug, don't use?
Apparently there is a sign on most of the plugs. He said there wasn't one on the plug that he actually used. He was arrested, and then they said de-arrested for the charge of abstracting electricity, but he was still facing charges of resisting arrest or something along those lines. Careful where you plug your phone in, okay? Wow. That's all that we have for this week. We will be looking for you again next week, hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.